Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War stream. So today, of course, we got ourselves some Broken Spire raids. Definitely going to be the main thing that we're going to be doing the stream. Going through the raids, messing with the weapon a little bit. Overall, it does seem like it's going to be a little bit towards the more underwhelming side. But still a new weapon nonetheless. It's a Broken Spire one, pretty standard like double gem creation thing. They've been releasing quite a few of them. Just another one of those, specifically for Broken Spire. Has a bit of Infernus synergy, a little bit of a Giant synergy, but overall rather average. But of course, as more Broken Spire troops come into the game, gets better. But yeah, they also, as Late Gaming mentioned, they did end up releasing this flash offer thing. And gosh, is it greedy. I was doing the math on it earlier, and the cost to get the Imperials, or the Books of Fire Deeds, ignoring the Imperials, is $525 for a single kingdom. And if you were to do it for literally every single kingdom in the entire game, it would come out to $17,850. That is double what max VIP is even in this game, and that was already like absurdly high. But yeah, it's pretty bad. Hopefully we'll get more ways of getting them without having to pay literal thousands of dollars. At least there's a buy limit, if nothing else. But this seems to be like a weekly thing that they're going to be doing now. Of course, this was technically a new feature in the most recent patch where we get like these flash offer tier thingies. And yeah, it's pricey. It's definitely pricey. That is for sure. Overall, I would say ignore literally all of it, personally. But anyways, so let's get to the Broken Spire. So, of course, we got our raid event going on today. Same rewards as always. Also, who on earth has done 1.5 billion points? It was Isabel, of course. Oh, gosh. Isabel has been... I'm actually surprised she's not here. Maybe she crashed. She has to be playing for a while now if she got 5th place already. The event's been out for 9 hours? I'm pretty sure she crashed. She probably did, like, the entirety of leaderboard and then crashed. Pretty sure. But, well, we're almost done. No, but we'll get our battles in. We pretty much have all the tiers. Also, of course, Raids is one of those weird events where you actually can't claim any of your loot unless you do the first several battles, which, of course, takes, like, no time at all. We'll get that done in, like, what, 5 minutes? Not even. But, yeah, it actually prevents you from even claiming all this until we do. So, definitely need to make sure to do that. What do I think of all those offers? I went over them earlier. They are very, very pricey. Personally, I've never found any of these to be really that useful, since you can end up getting them off of daily deals as far as the Deeds of Fire. The Imperial is a little bit more okay, but still extremely pricey. If you're talking about getting a single kingdom to level 15 off the Imperials, you would end up needing to buy 3 of these, which is actually how many in stock. I wonder why, the exact number you need, which ends up coming out to $45, which is, of course, also pretty pricey. And I went over the math on this earlier. To upgrade one kingdom with deed books to level 20, not even counting Imperials, it would cost $525. And to do it for every single kingdom in the game, it would cost where's the number? 17,000. Just that number alone's already gigantic, gosh. But it would cost $17,850 to get literally every kingdom upgraded by buying this every single week that's around. Though it's probably going to be a different color. Someone looked at the file thingy. I believe there's one for every single color, as well as a few other variants of what might come up. Like, there's probably a Vault Key variant for, obviously, Vault Event weekends and stuff like that. This is the first instance we've been able to see one of these, though. But, yeah, they're all pretty much overpriced. I personally would not really engage with them. Unless you were really desperate just for a little bit more gems. But even then, there are other ways of getting gems within the game. That'd be a bit better value. But anyways, let's start getting into this raid event. So, right off the top, of course, we are restricted specifically to Broken Spire. And if we go get our little reward thingies, wanted to not buy them just so I could remember how much it costs. I believe it's 210. Just in case I forgot, wanted to wait. But yeah, it's 210 gems to get the weapon. Highly advise doing so. Tier 3, insanely good value. Not only if does doing Tier 3 across every single person in your guild end up getting you all the rewards, but you would also end up getting the new weapon that's available. So pretty good value for end up doing that this week. Aside from that, we do have access to Firebomb, which is rather interesting. which basically means for the very early battles, we can technically go a bunch of fire bombs into a single cast weapon if we really want to. The other alternative, of course, is to utilize Infernus. Infernus, if you have it, it's going to be a really decent damage output. The third option that we have is there's quite a few giants in this kingdom, so using Titan Hero class will give your entire team 50% mana start. You could do this with Ogress, which is going to be pretty good value. You can end up doing it with, honestly, that might actually be the best value that you can do. I guess there's a Lava Troll too, so Ogress, Lava Troll. Those are probably the main two giants that if you're going to use, would gain a lot of value from using Titan 50% mana start. And alternatively, if you really want to, we do have access to a Skull Spam team, so Sugra can be used. We also have Taraxis into another brown AoE that happens to be brown, so you could use like Black Manacle into Taraxis, have no mana conflict, and then have a few other things, like maybe an Ogress and something else, and you'd pretty much be good to go. Actually, that seems kind of enticing for the earlier battles, doing a Taraxis into the other thing. The only problem is it counts as a Daemon. The best we could do for a Daemon is a 20% mana start, which isn't necessarily the greatest. I kind of want to go Ogress. We were using her yesterday for Guild War Day, and ended up working out pretty well. I'm thinking like Ogress, get a Firebomb in there, maybe 2 Firebombs. Actually, maybe 1 Firebomb and get like an Infernus. So Taraxis, I don't know, Taraxis, he converts blue to brown. So if we're using a bunch of brown stuff, that actually is still good. And then we could just use like a Black Manacle or something. And I think this would be fine for now. We do have a raid troop though, which of course we can use to kill out the boss. But for the earlier battles, that won't be as needed. So we can end up getting away with something like this and then shifting into the boss killer. The boss killer specifically, actually I forget what the one is. He's somewhere in here. The boss killer is, I believe, this guy, right? Yes. You got to use Igneous. Igneous does count as a giant, so you can do the 50% mana start for him as well. So that's going to be pretty good for when we get to that point, because not only does he have some skull protection, so he can be used in first law if you really want to, but he also has the 50% mana start that you can end up doing if you use Titan Hero class, which gives all giants, of course, the 50% start. He also gets to transform all reds to brown, so we actually have a double convert if we were to use him with Taraxis. So I'm not sure you would use both, but you can use both Igneous and Taraxis to have a blue to brown and then the red to brown, which does make it a little bit less enticing to do Sugra then, since its color is going to be moved off the board. But anyways, we'll start with this, and then we'll kind of work our way around. Obviously, this should just do the lower level range. I'm looking for my purple brown. And obviously, we're not using blue. We're literally converting it off, so we can just go for something like that and be good to go. And I believe that should be fine. And we'll use this for the earlier battles, and then we'll switch into a more serious team once we get past the quick kill section where they all literally die just by touching them. Pretty much. Anyways, let's get rolling. Also, hello, Imperial! Oh yeah, there's currently a glitch on console. Or I'm not sure exactly what the whole ordeal is. There's a lot of discussion on it on the forums. But you actually get 25 gem keys on some platforms instead of the 225 gems, but they don't have the visual changed to be the 25 gem keys. So people are expecting to get the gems, but then are getting a different resource. So that's like a whole ordeal right now that's still pending what on earth's happening with that. But yeah, I believe it's on PlayStation. Oh, it might be a couple other platforms that are having an issue with it. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's quite a few reports of people getting gem keys instead of the actual physical gems. Which, of course, if they're buying that, that's obviously one of the main things they want is the gems and not the gem keys. Actually, what does 25 gem keys come out to? Yeah, 25 gem keys technically has less value than 225 gems, doesn't it? What's 9 times 25? That's the number of value that is. 9 times 25 is... technically, they're both 225, except gem keys are forced into gem keys, whereas gems can be used, obviously, for anything. Which obviously makes gems more enticing, because it's literally just the gem keys, but usable for literally everything instead of just gem keys. But yeah, they do have the same gem value, though. But their actual value, of course, is the gems are better. We'll go for that. Get a nice big AoE. And that goes straight into Black Manacles, too, which is going to be a nice combo for a lot of these earlier battles, while we still can get away with it. Also, I'm currently using 20% into magic, right? I sure hope I am. Yes, I am. Okay. So we don't even need to change that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. We can just use this then. We'll be changing our team once we get a little bit deeper, of course. Obviously, dealing with the raid boss will require a slightly different setup than what we're rolling with right now. So hello, Raykin. Hello, Warren. Welcome, welcome. So hello, DS. If I didn't already say hi. Oh, you finally got a hiking Iron Gut. Congrats. Very nice. Yeah, it's a great troop to have. Insanely good in delves. Really, really nice option. Also, hello, Doberman. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's keep going. Grab this. What do we need here? What do we need? We'll grab our Black Manacle and it's dead. Yeah, Iron Gut just makes delving so much more straightforward. Really highly advised to get as one of the first few mythics as well. Though there are quite a few things that are enticing. It is one of the most enticing options for it. So it's not in Soulforge right now too, so that means you got it off a random drop. That's pretty lucky. Of course, as I've been mentioning, the mythic was available for a couple more hours when we were doing our other stream yesterday. However, as of right now, of course, as of reset time today, it is no longer the only mythic in the drop table. So if you open keys right now, you will be getting completely random mythics, which does, of course, include Iron Gut, potentially. But now every single mythic is in the drop table, including the one that just was. The mythic that literally was just available last week is already in the drop table. The only difference, of course, now is that every single mythic is in the drop table, aside from the Soulforge only ones. So the chance of specifically getting any individual mythic is exceedingly low. However, it's possible. It is possible, just exceedingly, exceedingly low. Why did I put faction in the title? Did I? I was editing the title. I didn't mean to. I put raids. Is faction the title? Oh, I meant weapon. Why did I say faction? My brain is... It's morning. Well, it's noon, but it's... I just woke up recently. Blame it on that. Yeah, I meant to say weapon. I'm not sure why I said faction. My brain was thinking weapon, but I wrote faction. I was wondering what you meant, because with how the YouTube currently shows it, it says Broken Spire raids. And then ... because it cuts off the rest of the title for what I currently see. But, yeah, I didn't see that I accidentally put faction instead of weapon. Slight fail. Though, oddly enough, Broken Spire currently does not have a faction. There's actually a potential that it'll be literally the last one. I feel like they're going to wait till it's absolute last. And the reason I think this is it was the very, the lore-wise, it was actually the reason why, why the Underworld even started, was because the whole ordeal with Broken Spire and everything with Cinemirage and Luther and everything. So there's a good chance that the very last faction added, or at least the 34th faction, will end up being the Broken Spire, to kind of go full circle with how it started as well as how it ended. Though there are still going to be factions once we get new kingdoms that are beyond that. But as far as like the current system within the game, I feel like they're going to plan on doing Broken Spire last. So there's a small chance they won't. But yeah, Broken Spire currently does not have faction. It's one of, what, 6 kingdoms or 7 kingdoms that don't have a faction yet. Obviously, we're getting really close to all of them having it, but not quite there yet. Why the Zugoff in raids is not the same that you have... the main reason for this is there's 6 different versions of Zugoff that actually change. It's a little bit hard to notice because it happens like once every 6 weeks. But yeah, all the Zugoffs that are in the raid event are different than the player-owned Zugoff. There's actually 6 different variants. Well, technically 7 total. 1 is player-owned, and the other 6 alternate between the different raids. They don't normally make too huge a difference, but yes, every single one of them actually interacts differently than how the player-owned one does. Basically, the player-owned one is almost just a combination of all the ones that the events have, just kind of combined into one. Not exactly every single effect that they have, but like a mixture of what they do. So that's basically what they end up doing with that. But yeah, they're not a single one of the 6 is actually the player-owned one. Also, the player-owned one has Impervious instead of the really good Invulnerable. I'm actually surprised they haven't given it Invulnerable yet. If Zugoff ever gets one last buff, it'll probably be replacing its Impervious with Invulnerable. They did it for the other one, the, what's his name? They did it for Doomed Karandera. However, they did not do it for Zugoff, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure if Zugoff will eventually end up getting it or what. But, yeah, they did not end up doing it for Zugoff. I said, hello, Assassin! Welcome. Okay, we're getting to the point where we need to go change our team soon, because this is starting to fall off just a little bit. 1 HP, really? Gonna make us kill it with an Ogress Explode? I guess so. I guess so. What are the delves where you can use Hiking Iron Gut and Vashtagan combo without potions? Well, everywhere without potions if you're just trying to get to 500. But you know, everywhere where the color works. You would have to have brown overlap. Wait, they don't share blue, did they? Can't even remember. Otherwise, you could do it on any kingdom or any faction that has brown or blue. As far as what that full list is, I am not aware. Yeah, don't they both share both the colors? I believe they do. It's one of the reasons why they're normally used together. Because when you lack other options, they always can be used together. He does use blue, right? Yeah, they both use brown-blue. So any faction that either has blue as a color or brown as a color, which I believe covers like 2/3 of factions. I'm not sure the full list. But if the kingdom allows you to use blue or brown, you'll be able to use the Iron Gut Vashtagan combo. The way that you use it might be slightly different, but the general premise is Mountain Crusher, Hiking Iron Gut, Vashtagan, and then one other option based on whatever else the restriction is. That one other option could be an apothecary in front of it all. You can end up doing a leprechaun if you have access to green. You could do some kind of other empower. Like if you have access to red or yellow, you can end up doing like the empower brown convert or something like that off of Gimlet. But it really just depends what the other color is on what you would end up using. But any faction that has either brown or blue, doesn't need both, just either or, you can run Mountain Crusher, Hiking Iron Gut, Vashtagan, and one other option. And that one other option basically just depends on what the other restrictions are. But anyways, let's keep going with raids. So we got 9 battles left, though that's way more than 9 between everything. Because we'll have the Val Ravens, of course. Well, let's go grab all of our loot, see what we get. We got 4 orbs here. Hopefully we'll get lucky off of something. Anything good here? We got an orange, and a purple. For a second I thought we were going to get triple orange. Gosh, at least the purple made up for it a little bit. Hopefully this is a blue or at least another purple. That is a blue! Nice! Okay, that's some good loot then. We got a blue and a purple out of 4, which is pretty lucky, actually. Now, if only our major orb will be a power or a major blue, we'll be good to go. But, yeah, hopefully we'll get lucky. We won't know till later. Probably won't have that done till tomorrow night stream. I highly doubt that it'll get magically done during this stream. Only reason we're already so far is someone in our guild went for a leaderboard. Isabel, of course. I'm pretty sure she's completely crashed and is sleeping right now. Pretty sure. Because that doesn't take a short amount of time to get 5th place on leaderboard. Like, that amount of battles probably took, like, what, 4 hours? 5 hours? I'm not sure exactly what it comes out to. Because you also have extra stats because the empowering potion thingies. Also, whoever's going for first is really going all out. Gosh, they're double above 2nd place. They are really grinding like crazy. Person currently at first. I think he soloed the entirety of the points. I forget the exact amount of points you need. But I'm pretty sure that amount of points literally solos the entire guild. I'm pretty sure you need like 250,000 or something. Maybe even lower. Because we have 101,000 there plus all these. So, yeah, you probably only need like 150,000. So that means even this almost solos it. This like ultra solos it. This like solos it 2 times over. Because I think it's around 150,000. I'm actually not sure what the exact amount of points is. Because it's a little bit different than what the old raids used to be. Because the weekend ones have a smaller amount of points because it's only 3 days rather than 7 days. So they tweaked it accordingly. Honestly, the 3-day version is actually easier than the old 7-day version. Which is kind of funny. Also, after this battle, I think we're finally going to switch our team to something actually serious. Because obviously this is just to kind of quick kill the lower range. But we're starting to get to the point where quick killing the lower range is not viable anymore. Because they're not so low anymore. It's still kind of working, but we'll go and scrap it out for something else. So I will go copy this team in case anyone else during the stream ends up mentioning it. Actually, we'll probably pin it in a moment once we get both the teams. So I'll just replace this over World Event. I think we're done with World Event, if not mistaken. Pretty sure the guild will have the last of points. We might even have the last points in now. Let me double check. How's the World Event going? I'm looking for Crown Jewels. How are Crown Jewel event going? We are almost done. We'll probably do our battles tonight and then not need to do our battles anymore. I'll likely get the last of the points in. That's kind of funny. The one that's already been going on for 4 days, we're pretty much just as progressed as the other one. It's pretty funny. Everyone here is a little bit more even, though. Oh, we're a little bit behind because we haven't done our battles yet today. But we shall. Anyways, where were we? Let's go back to the raids and actually make a team. That's not where raids are. That's not where raids are. The blue guild ward today, obviously. The blue shirt and everything. Looks like we're still kind of in the middle, a little bit below middle, but it's mostly because of the amount of battles we have in compared to the other guilds. Once we get them in, we should be about dead center in that bracket. But anyways, let's go back to the actual correct mode. Oh, that's still wrong. I will eventually click on the right one, literally last. But let's go scrap out this team for something else. So let's go get in the, I think we're going to go giant team at this point. I'm feeling a giant team. The only problem is Infernus does not count as a giant. He counts as an elemental and what's his other thing? Or is he just elemental? He counts as, where's Infernus? There he is. He counts as divine elemental. Oh yeah, divine. He used to be in the divine meta. Meta. I think we want to keep Ogress. Ogress seems pretty nice. I almost want to throw an Infernus in. Let me go get the Igneous. Igneous is the main win condition for killing the raid boss. He transforms all red gems to, he does the extra damage to the boss, and then does, of course, the transform red to brown, which will allow us to feed into brown, as well as into himself, oddly enough, which is kind of convenient. I believe he might be one of the only few raid or invasion troops that actually does so, being able to feed just directly into itself. Though there's one with a really funny mechanic wherever it gets a kill, it gets all of its mana back. A few other instances like that. As far as directly feeding its color, it does indeed do that, which is rather rare. I kind of want to get a firebomb in here, and now I kind of want a good weapon. I'm almost feeling Earth's Fury. But then we're lacking anything that isn't skull damage without having a skull spammer. If we go Earth's Fury. We're allowed to use every weapon too, unlike the world event, which is restricted based on the weapon as well. Every other event does not have that restriction, so even if it's a Broken Spire restriction right now, we're allowed to use any weapon, not just Broken Spire weapons. Literally every weapon in the entire game can be used. So it does give us access to something like Dawnbringer, which covers literally every last color that is not currently being used, which is somewhat enticing. One thing to consider, though, is that Barrier does not block against Zugof's insta-kill, nor any insta-kill with how they've changed insta-kill about a year back. But I think this is fine, because basically the whole premise here is we cast Firebomb, we get things rolling, Igneous kills Raid Boss, and then we kind of would just win off of Ogress plus Dawnbringer kind of thing. This will make us change into Titan, though. Not only will this give us 50% mana start for Ogress, starting her with 5 out of 11, but it'll also get our Igneous to 6 out of 12, which oddly enough is the same mana for each. They both just need 6 at that point. So I think we're going to switch over to Titan then, which also gives us 5 extra damage when using this weapon, since it counts as a blue weapon. And we also have Brownstorm at the start of battle, which ends up working out pretty well. And then we'll go and... what do we need here? I'm not sure what I want to feed mana into. Is actually the thing here. I kind of want to do like brown-blue. Is there any good brown-blue banner? Minus is purple, though, the ones I'm thinking of. And I don't want to minus yellow. Well, what are we not using? Well, technically we're using every color, aren't we? What are we not using the most? I'm not sure. I might just go with this. That seems fine. You just remember not to take yellow. Or at least that will get less value when we take yellow. Because if we explode them, we still get full value for it. Alright, we'll roll with this. It should be fine. So this is Ogress, Dawnbringer, Igneous, and Firebomb. The other option would be run Mang in first slot, run Igneous, and then run support behind it, like one Firebomb into one other option. But end up working out pretty well. If you need a cheaper option, because Mang into Igneous is probably about the cheapest thing you can get away with for this event. So basically what we're going to do here is do that, get our Convert, that feeds our mana back, that will give us full mana for our first slot so we can feed into our Dawnbringer, then we just cast Dawnbringer again and win. That is basically our plan here. So that thing refeeds, not only kills the boss, but also refeeds into a guaranteed full mana Ogress, and then we just kind of go from there. One other nice thing is if they somehow kill our first slot out, which is very unlikely, though potentially possible the little deeper we go, we will also get a brown troop into first slot, which will also be fed by this Convert, which ends up working out quite nicely. So right here, I'm actually going to go for this first, just to get a Dawnbringer down. Getting a lot of Dawnbringers is probably going to be quite beneficial. Also, I just realized you convert away... oh, never mind, you convert away red. I was thinking the other guy for a second that converts away blue. I was like, wait, I'm using blue when he converts away blue. But no, it's Taraxis that converts away blue, not him. So we'll go for our Firebomb here. We'll then go for Ogress, get that rolling. Which I might even hold Firebomb a little bit longer. I kind of want to use it once we don't have any other option. Though we keep having options. That definitely has enough mana accumulation, that is for sure. If anything, we almost have too much mana accumulation on this team. Because everything accumulates mana except for Dawnbringer. Every single thing is doing it for us. And if we keep getting lucky off the starting boards, it makes it even easier. And when we explode with Ogress, Ogress is not blocking a single color on Dawnbringer. So every single one of them will go directly into it. So it ends up working out pretty good. And it was killed with the Raid Troop, and he's down before he can get a cast off. Seems like this will work all the way. Dawnbringer also makes it quite a bit more safer. Though it doesn't protect against the Raid boss, but it does protect against, obviously, everything else that's on the team. Which is still pretty beneficial. So we'll go for that. Get our convert here. Get a nice big poke just to kill him out. And then we mana accumulate for Dawnbringer, and then just keep winning off of Dawnbringer spam, of course. That is the premise here. Hello, Antonio. Welcome. Also, hello, Ricardo. If I didn't already say hi. Welcome, welcome. Question. Why the Zugoff in Raid Boss is not the same that you have, or that we have? There's 6 different Zugoffs in Raids, and it switches off every time that we have a Raid event. But they're just different ones that kind of cycle through. The player-owned one is basically just a combination of what most of the Zugoffs do that are within the raids, but not a single Zugoff is actually the Zugoff that is player-owned. There's basically 7 Zugoffs in the game. 6 that are not player-owned that specifically only appear in raid events. And then there's the one that is player-owned, which is a weird combination of basically all the other Zugoffs. It's not like a perfect combination of everything that they do, but it's like a little bit of a mix of a lot of the better effects that they have. It does have Impervious instead of Indestructible, though, or that Invulnerable trait. I hope they do eventually end up giving it to it. Would be kind of interesting to see how it would end up panning out. If Zugoff actually had the Indestructible or Invulnerable, whatever it's called. I keep calling it Indestructible. I think it's called Invulnerable, isn't it? Yeah, it's called Invulnerable. Well, Invulnerable, Indestructible, kind of similar things. But, yeah, it's specifically called Invulnerable. The player-owned one does not have it, which is kind of weird because the other player-owned thing of that same rarity does. The Enraged Carindera does. I'm not sure if they're eventually going to give it or what, but currently it does not have it. Let's see. Do they actually have Steam codes for weapons? I never recalled any. Interesting. Oh, if someone wants to go try claiming that on Steam real quick. Not sure what legendary weapon it is. We have all of them in the game, so it wouldn't really do us any good. What metals am I currently using? 20% mana start into 8 magic is what we're currently using. However, the 20% mana start actually doesn't matter, does it? I can actually change that. So I'm using 12 magic then. Well, I'm not currently using 12 magic, but I'm about to switch to it. Because we actually don't need the 20% mana start now because the Firebomb starts with full mana. And all 3 of these are Giants, which are being fed by 50% off of Titan. So we actually do not need mana start anymore. So I should probably go change that. But yeah, 12 magic seems to be the way to go. If you don't happen to have magic, I guess going seasons could be okay for this team. Though magic is definitely the way to go if you have it. Also 1 HP. Luckily we got the little skull poke there. Up, and there's our daily gems. Nothing else. That's 20 of the 210 gems we needed for the event. Anyways, I'm looking for... Oh, gosh. I'm looking for... I came here for something. Oh, yeah. I came to switch out my metal. It's not that huge of a difference, but 4 magic can still help. Every little bit is more damage. Let's go get those last 6-8 battles in. Wish they would increase the metal slots. That would kind of be interesting. I'd rather see them... I don't know. Increasing metal slots would still be good. For a second, I thought you meant how many you could equip, but then I just realized how many you could set for preset is what you're referring to. Because I was going to say, that would change the meta a little bit if you could literally use 5 at once. But no, having 5 slots for it would be pretty nice. For how many events there are, especially during Guild War week, you need 1 for your Guild War defend team / offense team, so technically 2 in that regard. You need one for your, well, we'll just count it as one. You need one for whatever the Ward Lore event is. You need one for whatever your active team is. So that right there is already 3. So if you're going to use it for something else or want to switch into something else, you're already up to 4. So yeah, having 5 would be pretty useful. They did say that the current thing for it is temporary until they get a more proper fix. However, they have yet to do a more proper fix, and it's been a little over a year now. So I'm not sure what their plans are with that. But yeah, 3 is a little bit too little. But 5 would kind of be just enough to do literally everything. So we'll see if they ever adjust that. Aside from that, I do really wish they would add more medals to the game. Currently, there's not that much diversity. A good majority of them, of course, are just base stats, which ends up increasing your thing. So overall, you don't really get too much value from it. But stats are still fun. There's a couple things that you can do with them. Particularly when you need to reach a certain range for something. Like, for example, an Iron Get Devourer and stuff like that. Obviously gains quite a bit of a benefit from having the additional attack off of something like Seasons. I still don't understand why they haven't buffed Arania, though. Arania is literally just a weaker version of Seasons now. And they have yet to adjust it. It needs to be 6 attack. So at least there's some reason to use Arania instead of Seasons. But in the current state of the game, you would literally never use Arania anymore. Because Seasons is the exact same thing, but with additional benefits. Which is just weird that they haven't buffed Arania's attack increase just ever so slightly. Because 6 is about where it should be. It would be in between magic and the durabilities at that point, while still being slightly better than Seasons. Because 3 Aranias would be 18 attack instead of 12 attack. So it'd be a 6 increase compared to how it is now, relative to using Seasons. Which generally Seasons would still be better due to the sheer amount of durability you would gain from using 3 Seasons. But at least it would give some kind of purpose to Arania beyond being just an inferior Seasons. But it's been a year and they still haven't. They'll probably get around to it eventually. It normally takes them 2 or 3 years to fix something. That's about the rate at which they develop. Did I check the 2 new boss troops on Terrans? I did not. 2 of them? Hold up, when did that get updated? When did that get updated? 2 is more than I thought by 1. I was expecting only 1 to come soon. What are they doing with 2 of them? I'm pretty sure they're quite separated as far as when they're coming out. I highly doubt they're both coming in the same season. That'd be kind of weird if they do. I know, you're silenced. How am I supposed to cast you if you're silenced? You're playing Puzzle Quest 3 and you registered yourself, or you resigned yourself to the grind. You refuse to play this game the way it doesn't deserve to be beaten, aka my way. I want to beat it the way it's intended. Well, you can still beat it without using stun. There's a lot of mechanics that are even more broken than stun. The only reason why stun is used a lot is because 3 of the 5 hero classes get it very early as a viable spell in Puzzle Quest 3. Which is why it's used to a decent degree. Especially later in the game where it's literally required in the current state of endgame. But there are other options that do it better. The only problem is a lot of them are locked under pure RNG drops. Curious to see what the rebalance of Puzzle Quest 3 does end up coming out to. Let's see. Take that for now. They said they have no clue when next patch is. Someone asked on Monday, I think it was Cookie or someone else, asked on Monday's stream when Salty was streaming when the next patch for Puzzle Quest 3 is. I hope it's soon. Also, the guild tab is broken again. Like, more than half the player base can't even get into the guild tab. Oh no! We're out of sigils, so it shouldn't matter too much. We will pretty much have it done by tomorrow. And we're the 5th highest in the guild. I'm actually surprised. How did we not get a different amount? I guess we were 1 Valraven short. Interesting. Because it seems to be what most people are getting. The multi-way tie at 5,000. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Not sure how they have slightly more. But they do. They have like 1 Valraven more. Though that one has 2 Valravens more. How do you have 160? It's rather curious. I'm not sure how. Unless they bought a whole nother tier and they just stopped prior. Which might have happened. Maybe they bought tier 4. But decided they didn't want to do all their battles. Oh no, I forgot to go copy paste the team I was just using before we got rid of the thingy. Because I want to go put them both in chat. Well, I can go remake it right here. We were using Dawnbringer. And I'll go pin both of these to chat. Because I know there will be people once we start doing Explore 12 that will ask, what on earth do we use for raids? So let me go pin it. Because people will ask. Let's allow people to go and copy paste it right now as well. How do you spell Ogress? Ogress? Oh, I'm under weapons. I was like, wait, why is it not coming up? I'm pretty sure I'm spelling it right. Okay, we got Ogress. We got Igneous, I believe his name is. Or not. Oh, I did a thing. I'm pretty sure it's Igneous. Yeah, there it is. Igneous. And then we need a Firebomb. And then we need the correct banner and the correct hero class. Obviously, we use a Titan. And then we just need the banner to be not horrible. Or we're using earlier. I guess it was a brown blue. With a double blue. Yeah, that one. Alright, that was our team. Let me go, go post both of these into chat. So anyone who comes around can end up using it. Let's see. Trying to get the thing loaded. Where's my channel? To the channel! Oh, there's our thing. You two put it right at the front of our thingy. How convenient. Oh no, the ad is so loud, and I can't pause it. There we go. Let's go leave a like on the stream. And let me go get you guys the 2 codes, or the 2, although I might as well hand out the redeem code too. But get you guys the 2 team codes, I mean. Also, we'll go mess with the weapon. I haven't messed with the weapon yet. It's not really needed for this event. But I still want to mess around with teams. No, do not restart the computer now. I'm trying to stream. I was trying to update one of my things. And it wants to restart the computer. Now is a very bad time. Let's see. I almost said bounty teams. Raid team low. Raid team high. I'm not sure what you'd even call it. Raid team. I guess with the ball strip. I'm just gonna call it raid team high. Or maybe raid team later. I'm not sure what you'd really call it. Let's call it raid team high. There we go. And there we go. And now let me go pin it. Pin message. There you guys go. There are the 2 teams that we used today for the event. Now let me go X out of this so it doesn't lag us at all. Okay. So, with that out of the way, let's go and mess with the weapon. Still go mess with at least one thing with the weapon. So, of course, what do we want to do this over? I guess Pure Faction. I'm not using that for anything. Trying to find a team I don't really... Oh, here we go. Doomsayer class. We literally just did that yesterday. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so let's go build a team using this new weapon. I want to see what it could do. So, of course, we did end up getting a new weapon today. It costs only 210 gems, and I do advise getting it that way. It is this. It ends up doing gain 4 mana back, burn first enemy, some splash, some attack. Yeah, it's worth upgrading. Okay. So it's going to gain 4 of its mana back. It has burn as well, which is rather interesting because we could use it with a triple damage burning hero class. However, given that we want to do it with Broken Spire, Broken Spire hero class is... Wait, it does have triple, doesn't it? Hold up, Warlord does. It doesn't have half mana start, though. Hold up. Doesn't Warlord have, Pretty sure it does. Warlord is so bad that I kind of forget. But I believe it does have triple damage burning, doesn't it? Class... Oh, I'm looking for Warlord. He does. Right there. Interesting. Very interesting. The rest of his perks are so bad, though. But, yes, he does have triple damage burning. But you wouldn't get half mana start by using this giant hero class if you did. I still feel like Titan might be the way to go. And just use a different first slot. You could definitely run it either way. But that's rather interesting. What color does it create again? Brown and red. What if we did a Shegra build with this? What if we did Warlord? Use the almighty Shegra. And then, see what else we have for Broken Spire. I guess Lava Troll and something else. So, unfortunately, Lava Troll's not fed by those colors. If he was, this would actually be really good. But he's not. Yeah, I believe he uses blue, purple, and doubles red. This does not create blue or purple. Creates red and brown. Technically, it has synergized with Amarak. However, Amarak is ridiculously bad. I wouldn't say it's the worst mythic in the game, but it's far from being decent. I have Infernus. That only uses the red aspect, not the brown. But we could just let Shegra directly get fed by brown and have that as a red storm alternative for once our red storm goes away. And then we just need one other option. I'm almost considering a Ogress in last slot, which seems very extremely weird, but we need mana and I don't want to block Shegra on brown. Yeah, technically we could. And use like Ogress in first slot. Oh, but then we don't have the burn synergy. We want that burn synergy. It's definitely not a giant variant, that is for sure. But the giants in this kingdom are pretty bad. There's a couple that aren't, like Flame Troll and Ogress. But most of the other ones are pretty bad. And Igneous if you're doing the event. But obviously outside of the raid event, it is pretty bad. But inside the raid event, it's decent. At least it still has to convert. I guess it's not ultra bad. It still has red to brown convert. I'm not sure what we want for our other option then. Because this guy's pretty bad. That thing is not really going to do much for us. I guess it will stun for us. Which I guess helps with our skull spam. We could just do a firebomb if we really want to, but we don't have any resummon. The weapon doesn't have resummon. The troops don't have resummon. What does this thing do again? Exploded gem, burn a random... No, we already have a billion burns. We don't need more burn. I feel like just going Ogress and use it for mana accumulation and use it for the excess. It might seem weird using like the best tank in this kingdom in the last slot, but I don't want to block Shegra's brown and red simultaneously. We could block one, but not the other. Actually, alternatively, we could move Infernus's location. Actually, hold up. Yeah, we could do it like that. That would work. Because now he's not blocked. Yeah, let's roll it like this. And then we change our banner accordingly. So, do we want to +1 the weapon? If we do, it's definitely on yellow. If we're going to plus this thing. In which case, we could do like a yellow-brown. Which might seem like a little bit of a weird combination. But it would work. Are we missing any color? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we have every color in the game on this team. No, I think purple wouldn't necessarily be too bad of a thing, which is tempting. Okay, I think we'll roll with this and see what happens. I think this has potential. It's not going to be like ultra meta, but it's not horrible. Yeah, Broken Spire weapon fits perfectly. There we go. We got our Broken Spire weapon. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. To the, not the event, to the PvP. Let's see how quickly we lose. Okay, so we got the Wump with an exclamation point. Ogress, Shegra, and Infernus. That's a pretty funny name. Also, someone was mentioning the new Doom rarity troops. We'll go look at them in a moment. I'll go hand out a code once we mess with this team, and then we'll go see what those Doom troops are. Because apparently we can see them now. I am very curious. I normally don't look at things ahead of time, or haven't been trying not to as much lately. But, still curious. Oh yeah, you auto move to first slot, don't you? I forgot that was a mechanic. No. I want you to not be in first slot. Hero, go move to first. It might not really matter that we don't have triple damage, to be honest. It might not matter at all. I kind of forgot that's a mechanic, isn't it? That is very much a mechanic. That's funny. Yeah, I forgot. She auto moves the first slot. Which is still fine, but it changes how we have to play. It means we hold Ogress for longer. We don't immediately cast her once we have full mana. So it doesn't change much, but it does change things. Also, I'm not running with 20% mana start right now. I should be. We changed it for the event because we need the other thing. So right here, I want to deliberately not cast her. Oh, but that's kind of weird then, because we're not getting any mana for our weapon then. You know what, I'm just going to have to cast her. Oh, well, no hero for first slot. Which I guess is more of a reason to go do Titan then. Even more of a reason why Warlord is useless. It doesn't even work in a Broken Spire team. It's literally a Broken Spire, Oh, we might die just from this thing destroying us a billion times. But it doesn't even work in a Broken Spire team. The Broken Spire hero class. Alright, we're about to die a billion times over. Yep. Gosh, how many resummon is this guy gonna get? Alright, it's obviously over at this point. Yeah, we kind of have to either go Titan or scrap the Warlord. Or scrap the Ogress. We could always replace Ogress for something. Does this place have, I guess Firebomb. Let's go minus green and go Firebomb. Just so we can keep it pure. That's a good banner. +2 yellow, +1 brown is perfectly fine. Any other banners? Got yellow, red. I'm liking yellow, brown though. Let's roll with this. We don't have any resummon for that one slot though. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I kind of completely forgot Ogress moves the first. Which is actually a really beneficial aspect of her. However, it does mean that if your current first slot is very positional based, it will be moved. And in that particular instance, it kind of got moved. What do we even go for here? Do we even have a cascade for that? No, we did not. I'll take the purple there. Try for yellow off of sky. Oh, I could just take a blue too, though. We'll grab that over and try for the thing off of sky. And now we kind of just win. Striker doesn't have guarantee alignment, so I'm going to go for a little bit of procs right there. As we're about to also... Oh, no, this board does have alignment. Perfect. So we get triple damage on burning. So everything will just die in one single hit at this point. Only problem is, so war hero! Oh, there we go. I don't know, it's okay. It's not, like, over the top, but, it kind of works. I still feel like it would be better with Titan, with the Ogress. Because you can feed mana that way. Like, if we go get rid of this, go for Ogress. Just commit to it in first slot, but use Titan instead. Oh, that counts as one less Broken Spire troop, doesn't it, though? It does technically count as one less Broken Spire troop. How we go +2 red, +2 green. But no, I think we go to +2 brown, +1 yellow. Let's try it this way and see what happens. So this, of course, does not utilize the fact that triple damage exists. We're simply going to be hitting for 1 times damage. But we get much quicker of a start, which is the main benefit for it. I saw that blue extra turn, but obviously we're frozen. So can't quite go for it. Once again, can't go for it. Go for a poke here and then hope we get a good follow-up. Chagro cast would be great right about now. Do we have a free turn anywhere? I do not see it, except for blue, which doesn't really help us. I guess red. The fact we can't take blue right now is kind of unfortunate. Because we could pretty much just win from there if we could. But we might still be able to. And there we go. That works a bit better. We got less jump spawn from the weapon, but it kind of works out. Anyways, let me go hand out a redeem code. And then let's go check these Doom troops someone was mentioning. Curious to see. Where on earth is the code? One moment. Why can't I find the thing? There it is. Move that over, move that over. Get the whole thing. And there goes go. There's a redeem code. Use on gemsofwar.com. With the game code section, your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever game says right over here is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. So copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with GB. And give same word as always 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. And the mythic is no longer in that drop table. Well, it is, but it's not the exclusive mythic anymore. So it's still technically there, but it's a random drop. So all the mythics are there now, except for the ones that are Soulforge only. But still, standard gem key. Might want to save it for next mythic that comes out next month, or use it now for random drops. Okay, so next order of business. Let's go peek at these troops that were mentioned a little bit earlier. So if we go to Terran's World, if I could type Terran's World correctly, there we go. Why is I always mistype it the first time? I'm not sure why, but I have a near 100% consistency of mistyping it the very first time. Rather strange. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. The keyboard's a little bit further away, which is somewhat the reason. But it's still funny that almost consistently every time I do it wrong the very first time, but then get it the second time. It's weird. But anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for troops, and now I'm looking for these boss troops. If I just control find boss, does it just bring them up? It does. Okay, so here are the upcoming boss troops, at least in their current balance. Wait, why is there 4? Gosh, how many bosses are there? We can see a lot of bosses. However, April 30th. That's the end of the season? Interesting. Wait, it's for Hell Gates. Wait, troop list, it's a boss. Oh, wait. This isn't boss rarity. This is a boss as in a boss for the thing. Hold up. Here we go. Here are the actual bosses. Okay, there's 2 of them. But yeah, the other ones was just a bosses in the thing. It's not an actual boss typing. These 2 are the 2 actual bosses. The Beast boss. The Scroll Reborn and the Hatir Ascendants. So these still don't have any official dates. So they're definitely subject to change. So they both have Impervious, so they don't have that Indestructible. That's kind of interesting that they only gave it to, or Invulnerable, I mean. But so far it looks like only the Useless and Rage character has Invulnerable. So I guess it's not completely useless since it doesn't seem like they're giving it to all the new boss troops. But unless they're going to just change it by then. But they're both a red, blue, red, purple for 24 mana cost, which makes me assume one of them will change. It seems a little bit weird that they both be like that. But one ends up creating 5 green gems. Then convert green gems to Lycanthropy. Wait, what? Lycanthropy gems? That's not a thing that currently exists. Then summon 1 to 3 Winter Wolves. What? That's hard to really determine what on earth this will do. Because that's not something that currently exists. Lycanthropy gems? What are they doing with lycanthropy? I know it's a status effect, but it's not a gem. Weird. That is super weird. But anyways, what's this other perk? It has Impervious, and it has Give 2 magic to beast allies when my turn begins. I think that's the first time we get something like that. We get like 1 to all stats and a couple other things. None of them have done it for magic yet. That is pretty underwhelming compared to getting extra turn magic. So overall, that one seems pretty bad, though we have no clue exactly what that mechanic does. This seems to do relatively similar, though. This creates 5 yellow gems, then converts yellow gems to whatever these things are, which currently don't exist, and summon 1 to 3 wargs, which I also believe doesn't exist. I'm not sure. And then, also, I don't believe Winter Wolf exists yet either, but between then, it likely will. There's 2 troops. But anyways, as Impervious as well, and it gives 4 attack to all beast allies at the start of when my turn begins. So these are kind of weird. They're both pretty bad. I'm not sure if we're getting them from the season pass or if one of them is going to be a bit different or what. But they're not that good in their current state, unless lycanthropy gems is something insane. Like what? Does it apply lycanthropy to a random enemy when you match them or something? I don't know. That's just very strange. But yeah, they do have the modifier of boss, which means these 2 are indeed boss. The other thing wasn't. I was looking at the other thing, because it's the troop list as boss, but that's not the troop type. But this does have it under troop type, both beast boss. I'm pretty sure they're going to be tweaked before they're released. Those are really weird overall stats right now. Obviously, we don't even have the art here yet, no official dates. So that's still ways away. Though it's probably the end of next season, because they did mention they were doing the other thing for the lycanthropy kind of thing. So they were doing it preemptively. So that means next season we'll likely have both of those. It seems kind of weird that there's 2 of them. Like, what? Is one going to be off the season pass and the other's going to be off of Soulforge? I'm not sure. But it's rather weird. But anyways, yeah, that's that. So, next order of business. I guess we go grinding a bit. So we'll go for 20% medals. Probably go on the token grind then for a little while. Obviously in Golvania. Because obviously we'll do Guild Wars and everything else later tonight. We did not get Anisha the other stream, but we did get lucky with an Anu or 2. So that adds up. Yeah, if each of them costs 8 orbs, that's pretty absurd. I don't think I will craft either of them. Unless one of them just seems particularly better by the time they get rebalanced. Because I highly doubt they're releasing exactly like that. They would also make them the lowest cost boss troops in the game. Because currently they have a 24 mana cost, which is kind of the standard for Mythics. Yet they count as boss troops. Currently the lowest cost boss troop in the game is 32 mana, which is Ugoth. Not counting Doom weapons. Let's see. Will I be doing stuff for Age of Calamity DLC? Yes. It isn't out yet though, is it? I actually can't even remember the date that it's supposed to be coming out. I remember that it was far enough along that it didn't seem like it was anytime soon. But wasn't it a while away? I'll go double check. Almighty Google. Let me just quickly Google it. But yes, we will be covering Age of Calamity again once DLC drops. I don't think it has dropped yet, has it? Age of Calamity DLC dates. June 2021. That is still 2 months from now. But yeah, in 2 months from now, we'll definitely cover it. Unless Nintendo on their official channel drops something today that I'm not aware of, because I haven't checked their channel all day. Because we've kind of been streaming. I was sleeping, and then streaming. So let me double check. Oh no, did they drop anything for it right now? Let me go check. Nintendo. I know they dropped Pac-Man 99. We played that the other day. Actually, we'll probably be playing it tomorrow as well. Maybe even host some private lobbies. I'm not sure how many people will get in. Nope, nothing on it. Just something with Doom and some other thing. And them trying to sell online for the billing of time with the same exact trailer that they just updated with the correct thing because of the Pac-Man thing. Which is literally the only reason why they re-released the trailer was for the copyright thing for the, or not the copyright, but you know, the, to add the Pac-Man thing to the end of the thing. Which is why they reposted that video for like the billionth and a half time. But yeah, we'll be covering Age of Calamity again once the DLC drops. Based on Google, it's in June. I'll go double check again. But Yeah, we'll be covering it once again. Once DLC starts dropping for it. The biggest issue with the game, and I'll probably be covering a video on it too, it really lacks endgame content. I play a lot of games to 1,000+ hours, and Age of Calamity is definitely, in the current state of its game, a game that is not capable of doing so. And with how the first Hyrule Warriors was, I personally did not play the first Hyrule Warriors, but it definitely was a game that, with how it was set up, was possible to get over 1,000 hours of gameplay with. However, the way that Age of Calamity is set up has a weird wall at the end where there's not much of incentive to do much, and the things that you can do are absurdly hard, like trying to get min-max weapons. And the system for it just seems kind of weird for post-game. Like, the system for the entire progression of the storyline is really solid. And even, like, very shortly after the post-game, it's still kind of solid. But then once you start getting to, like, absolute pure min-maxing, it is just so ridiculously tedious with almost nothing to do. Because there's no new content coming out, there's no, or, you know, until DLC and everything. And there's just no kind of, like, cycling system, nothing to really strive for. Getting high scores is kind of pointless with how the scoring system is. It doesn't even have a good scoring system for that. There's just so many things that's missing that hopefully the DLC will fix, which I'm really hoping for. Because I'd love to get back into Age of Calamity a lot, but it's just missing so much. It feels like an incomplete game when it launched, and they haven't released any DLC since. Like, beyond the storyline. Like, the storyline was obviously complete and everything. But beyond that point, it seems incomplete. Like, they were just trying to get it down to rush it out for certain dates. And then they figured to just patch everything else later. Because comparing it to Hyrule Warriors, the first Hyrule Warriors, it seems extremely incomplete. If you compare the amount of content in that game to Age of Calamity. Oh, good, and Rainia. Needed that. Are all the weapons available in the Forge now over time? No, there's still 33 of them, I believe, locked by $5. They were originally obtainable for free way back in the day. But in the current state of the game, I believe 34 or 33 weapons are $5 locked, which is rather unfortunate. They're all useless tier weapons. They would literally only get for the sake of having them. But they are still weapons nonetheless. Like, not a single one is meta. I think the only one that's even remotely partially meta, though it has fallen off drastically, similar to Draculus and Crimson Bat and stuff like that, is, what's it called? Crescendo. Crescendo does half your hero's magic as true damage, and if it gets a kill, it gets an extra turn. This is good only if you're using a true damage AoE team, where casting it will net you an extra turn. It is exceedingly situational in the current state of the game, because most true damage teams don't hit all enemies evenly. Most true damage teams hit in a kind of weird way because of how meta Grey King is and Beatrix, which both of them do not hit in a consistent way that hits all enemies. Grey King will hit multiple enemies, but does not consistently hit all enemies. And Beatrix splits in a way where it doesn't really get its value. Like, it's going to be hitting some for more compared to others. So, while it kind of distributes them evenly, it's not exactly. So, Crescendo isn't really used as much, even though it used to be a pretty good weapon. It's kind of fallen off quite a bit. But no, every $5 weapon, you can pretty much live without. They're not really needed. But it is kind of unfortunate that there's no free way of getting them. I'm not sure why they still have it like that. I still wish they would change it. But it is the way it currently is. They were available for free like 4 or 5 years ago. They're almost kind of like how season passes are. Where like when a season passes for a game, you like never can get the stuff again. That's kind of like how they are, except they gave you a way of getting them again. It's just money instead of no way of getting them. Which is still unfortunate. I wish they would give a way in-game to get them without using money. It might still change, but as it currently stands, they are money only. I forget what the full list is off the top of my head. But they are all pretty useless. So it's not too big a deal to not have them. I haven't used one for a single video in like 3 years now. I think we might have used Crescendo once like 2 years ago just to mess with something. That's about it. Because they were released when the meta was drastically different, so they're pretty much all useless. Oh, so hello, Paul. Yes, a lot of people hate the lycanthropy perk. It's also a little bit glitchy, and some people have been crashing from it as well. However, I've yet to personally see a crash from it, but there have been many reports of it doing so. Which will probably be fixed by next patch, but of course, who knows when next patch is? Could still be a couple weeks, a month, whenever they get around to it. Unless they do like a really mini patch just to fix that and a few other things. There's always bugs to be fixing. Gotta go call pest control. Too many bugs. Let's see if we throw that down. Good afternoon, Scout. Welcome. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. That Lycanthropy probably applies, Lycanthropy gems probably apply Lycanthropy to a random enemy. That's what I assumed it would do. We have no clue what it currently does, though. But yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. It seems like the most likely thing that it will do. But we don't currently know what it will do. I'll find out at the end of next season. Or if something else brings the mechanic in earlier than that. It just seems weird that they would bring in a new mechanic that's so weird. I guess they do it to try to disorient teams. Because Deathmark is so ridiculously bad at doing so. So they kind of wanted to have another option for doing it. Though there was a solution to that, just buff Deathmark. You could have just made Deathmark not useless. It's not completely useless, but it's really luck-based. And you generally want a bit more consistency than it. And even Lycanthrope is pretty luck-based, but it's more consistent than Deathmark at disorienting a team. Because I believe it does not have a one-turn delay, though I'm not 100% confirmed on that yet. But I believe it doesn't have a one-turn delay, plus it's 15% chance per turn instead of 10%. But even if the only difference was not having a one-turn delay, that's pretty huge. Deathmark used to be a lot when it had a zero-turn delay. However, there is a counter to zero-turn delay now. Your cleanse chance off of Orpheus triggers before it triggers before the effect of Deathmark and other things. So if you have Orpheus gems or Orpheus medal set, you will be able to have the proc of those 10% trigger before the proc of the whatever stats effect you have. So since then, they have added a counter, which means they could literally buff Deathmark to a zero-turn delay, and it actually would be balanced in the current state of the game. It wasn't when it used to be, which is why it was nerfed, but in the current state of the game, it actually kind of would not matter if Deathmark had a zero-turn delay. It'd be a gigantic buff for it, but it would make it so there's still a counter to it because of Orpheus medals. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do with Lycanthropy. It's kind of weird. Because everything that they're trying to do with Lycanthropy, they could have done just by making Deathmark more rebalanced than what it currently is. So it seems weird that they would add a completely new stats effect for something that could have been done with the already existing stats effect that could have just been tweaked. Well, we'll find out next season. Because obviously Season 5 is the main thing that's going to be utilizing it. Or maybe they just want a reason to add something for Season 5. It's like, okay, we need something new for a new season. Let's go just make this weird perk thing. And go with that. But if anyone still has any other questions, any you want me to go over, anything, let me know. And we'll make sure to do so. Anything else you guys want to chat about? These streams like these are really easy just to chat about anything. Let's see, we'll take that over. Since raid events and invasion events as well, the weekend version of them are so ridiculously quick. It took us like, what, an hour while doing commentary? Even less if we weren't doing commentary. Oh, we'll still have to do a little bit of battles tomorrow night as well, but it wouldn't take that long. Take us like, what, 10, 15 minutes? And then raids is done, and we get all the loots. The weekend versions of them just go so quick. Which is kind of a good thing, so you don't have to spend forever on the game. especially since there's still other events going on, like Guild Wars and everything, obviously. There's actually 3 events going on right now, then. Guild Wars, Raids, and World Lore event. The World Lore event we'll have done tonight, Raids will be done tomorrow, and Guild Wars just takes like 15 minutes every day. A lot of events, but they will all take a pretty short amount of time. Come on, Nisha. That is an Anu. That's still a good token, but not what we're looking for. That's still kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for it, but it's not the token we're looking for. It's just a token we're looking for. That's still one of the 2 we really want to see. Anus and Nishas. So, of course, Nisha is better. Lycanthropes is always against the player. If you got it on your units, it messed up your team. If the AI gets it on their unit, it makes you harder to kill. Yes, technically it can be bad both ways, because it's really annoying if one of yours gets converts because it disorients your team. And the only time it would ever be good to actually apply it on an enemy would be during Guild Wars. In normal battles, and pretty much every other situation, Lycanthropy is actually going to be ridiculously bad. Guild Wars is probably the only time where Lycanthropy will actually not be horrible, because I believe it actually counts as an additional kill too, due to how Transform works. I'm not 100% certain on that, because Transform is the enemy has never been like super meta in that. They might have tweaked it so it does not. You know, it used to count as a kill, but I think they tweaked it so it might not. But I'm not sure how its interaction is in Guild Wars. But there's a chance that transforming in Guild Wars does still count as a kill, meaning that you can get more than 4 kills even if the enemy only has 4 units, which counts more towards your points. Though you still have to do all the other factors of Guild Wars to a high degree to still get a lot of points. But there's a potential that Lycanthropy could actually overall increase the amount of points you get during Guild Wars, because not only does it increase the amount of damage you can rack up by resetting a enemy, but it also counts potentially as an additional kill, though we're not 100% certain on that yet. We'll find out once it's more consistent to use in Guild Wars. But aside from Guild Wars, Lycanthropy is never going to be used. It's a really inconsistent mechanic that is more annoying than useful in everything except Guild Wars. And we won't even be able to test it for Guild Wars for quite some time. Not only will it not be, the viable troops not be available for quite some time, like we still have the end of next season. So not even the end of this season, the end of next season. So that's like what? Like 3 months from now? 2 months from now? It's a while from now before we can really use it properly. Because it's the Guild Wars after it's been released is when we could first truly use the Lycanthropy mechanic. So that's still a whiles away. Also, was that just 20 reds on the board? Gosh, that was a lot. Luckily, because we need 13 plus to get extra turn. I think we hit 13 plus. That was definitely enough, that's for sure. Definitely enough. Let's see, we'll take that over. Grab Explosion. Get our Destroy down. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. Make sure to go over them all. Oh, we already got Zugoff. Nice. Get that down. Get our Destroy rolling. All the explosions. And dead. Take that over, take that over. Also, might even get a level this stream. But probably not. We'd have to go use the Dust Level team a little bit to speed up that level. Otherwise, we'd be here for quite some time if we're going to try going all the way for the level. We'll definitely get it tonight, though. Also, how did I just completely miss? That's rather unfortunate. So hello, Scout. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Hey, what do we need here? Let's get our explosion. Get our Zugoff on there. Nice little extra turn. Oh wait, was there a skull I could have taken? I feel like there was and I just missed it. Smash. Didn't matter too much. Flamethrower is a bit slower to cast, but ideally if it goes straight into an extra turn, doesn't waste too much time. Aw, nothing good in our chest. Only one single Anu. I'm not sure what it is. Like, every single stream, all we get is, like, an Anu. That's, like, all the chests ever want to give us. Just a single Anu. Which isn't too bad. If we got an Anu literally every stream, they would add up quite a bit. That's still rather unfortunate. Also, every single time the Anu for 500 gems have been popping up, I have actually been getting it recently. Initially, I thought his value was kind of average, but, it's actually kind of worth it. The amount of gems you would have to sink is still quite a lot, because if you're talking about getting a legend fully perked, it would still end up being 6 of them, which is what, 3,000 gems? But you get them so slowly, like generally like 1 per month, that throwing 300 or 500 gems at it once a month isn't really that big of a deal, because they come in at a slow enough rate. Like 3,000 to get a legend upgrade, it seems like a lot. But when it's like 500 a month, it's like, oh yeah, that's a pretty small amount relative to how many the game gives. Well, it's not a small amount, but you know. Like, it's worth it to speed up the rate at which the legends get upgraded. Also, oddly enough, the common one for only 100 is somewhat worth it too. I've been somewhat not getting as much, because once you get to the point where you're starting to get closer to having all the commons upgraded, it becomes increasingly less valuable. But prior to having every common upgraded in the game, being able to get that guard token for 100 gems or slightly less when it's like 90 or 80 isn't too bad of an offer. Because guard gems are actually rarer than the ultra rare one, which almost makes no sense, but it is actually more rare than the ultra rare token and medals. It's kind of weird that it's like that, but it's just because of how the drop rates are for high level Explorer. As well as for all levels Explorer, I'm pretty sure it's still lower. It's really weird how they have it. But due to how they have it set up, it is technically good value to get it. Because unlike the ultra rare one, which is more common, it costs 300. Whereas the common one, whenever it appears, is only 100. Yet is rarer than the 300 one. Of course, the upgrade amount is a little bit less, like how you can end up using it. But it still ends up working out pretty well. Also, hello, Isabel. Welcome, welcome. Hope all has been well. I'm pretty sure you were sleeping based on how much you have grinded. I've noticed your thing when we were doing raids, and we are pretty much done. Hope you got some good sleep. I sure hope you slept. Because that was a lot of grind. That must have took some time as well. Let's see. Oh, so hello, Tasco. Welcome, welcome. Also, hello, Medieval over there. Say hello. Welcome, welcome. And definitely, everyone, feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But yeah, the person who went for first place really destroyed it as well. He's like double second place. They really went all out this time. He must have been grinding like since it came out. He might still be grinding right now. He really wants that power orb. I still haven't gone for a leaderboard for a very long time. I will at some point. You still have 30 plus sigils to use, oh gosh. Yeah, of course we finished all of ours. The teams that we used earlier pinned to the stream. And also, I'm pretty sure the code's already used, but for anyone just getting here, do double check the code. I'm pretty sure it's used up by now, because we handed out, like, what, half an hour ago, I think? But it might still be active. And if anyone still has questions or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. This is a great stream for doing so. How many tiers have I bought? Oh, the money wrestling Isabel. But as long as everyone in the guild is tier 3, it's enough to get all rewards. If your guild is on a budget. It also gives you the weapon, so I highly advise getting tier 3 at least. 210 gems for a weapon is pretty good. Not to mention the fact that you get the whole event done as well. It's a really good value. If you don't have 210 gems, go use some treasure maps. Doing treasure map is about 50 to 70 gems per hour. Do I have a video on which troop to medal first? Yes. And it's still pretty relevant because the meta for it hasn't really shifted much. But, yeah, I was thinking it was like the top 4 to medal first video, I think I did. I did it for 4 per rarity, I think. Gems of War medal first. Strong is easy to obtain. Easy elite level guide medals. Best 4. Here it is. Found it. This video right here. It should be pretty up to date because I don't believe the meta for what is good to upgrade has really shifted much. But there you go. There's the video. We covered it a little over a year ago when medals first came out. However, it's still pretty relevant. What was good to medal then is still pretty good to medal now. I don't think there was any exception. But yeah, that video goes over it comprehensively, as well as medals in general. It's actually pretty far if you only bought 3 tier 7s. I keep forgetting. Every single tier gives like so many battles there for those final tiers. Also, isn't this the event where it costs like 500 and you get like a huge amount as well? Because I know for some it costs only 200, but for others it's like 500. And I think the reason why it's 500 for this is because you get a bunch of troop drops as well, random troop drops. Which kind of inflates its price a little. No, this is the 200 one. And wait, you get 25 kingdom troops for only 200 gems? That's actually not horrible. Assuming you still needed the troops. Obviously we don't, personally. But for a newer kingdom, I almost feel like going for a leaderboard. Like if they add a new kingdom and it gets event almost immediately or literally immediately, that's actually pretty good value. These 25 troops are kind of like glory key though. So theoretically each one is like 1 gem, so it's almost like 25 gems worth of troops then. But that's still not horrible combined with everything else. The one Godslayer is pretty much nothing. The Soul is pretty much nothing. Gold pretty much nothing. Power makes it better to do the thing, and just makes it easier to do leaderboard. But that's still not bad. 25 random troops. They can be up to Mythic as well. So like this week you can get Infernus, of course. Though the chance of doing so is exceedingly unlikely. Don't do it just to try to get it. But it is technically possible. But when a new kingdom comes out, and they have an event like this, we might go for leaderboard for the first time in like ages, and try to get a power. Because we'd keep getting random troop drops, which would help us specifically focus out the new kingdom. Curious if they're going to do it like that then. Very interesting. I didn't think about that earlier. But that would be a great way to gain the kingdom troops, because it gives just the kingdom troops. Like right now it's just giving Broken Spire troops. And if they did that for a new kingdom, it would just give the new kingdom troops. Which is kind of like event keys when it's not the event for it, which is pretty good. Interesting. Still pretty pricey for them. But of course you're getting a bunch of other stuff with it. Let's see if we throw it down. Gonna craft Dawnbringer soon? Nice. Yeah, elite levels consume so many souls. To fully gold medal a troop, you need 60,000 souls. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. That, of course, assumes you're doing it at 100% rate. Though I generally advise doing it at 100% rate because doing it based on RNG is very annoying. You would eventually get to the point where you'd want to RNG like mythics and stuff like that and legends. But initially, I would advise not RNGing any of them because it consumes even more souls on top of the fact that you could potentially just lose all the resources. I do like that they have a 100% option for it, though. I hate games that have literally no 100% option to get a resource like that. But luckily, Gems of War is set up in a way where that is not the case. There's always a 100% way for it. Might take forever to grind, like the Nisha or Anu grinds, but there are 100% methods for it that aren't purely luck-based. Yeah, Dawnbreaker is definitely a good utility weapon to have. You'll see me using it here and there. We even used it for the event today, as well as the team. The second team that we have for the raid event above us, or wherever it is. We're in the chat. You guys know where the chat is. But pinned to chat, we had the two teams we used for the event, the second one of which did use Dawnbringer. The main reason why Dawnbringer tends to be used is it's really good value for hero weapon for how much AoE damage it does relative to mana cost. The fact that it uses 3 mana colors also makes it really good when using Explode or Destroy gems in mass, because you end up feeding a lot of mana into it due to the fact that it uses 3 mana instead of a standard 2 mana weapon, which even though it has a higher mana cost, it theoretically in many instances does not actually have a higher mana cost. There are many instances where a Dawnbringer, despite having a 20 mana cost, will get mana quicker than a 16 or 15 mana cost weapon, just because even though that 15 or 16 mana cost weapon is obviously lower mana cost, it only uses 2 colors instead of 3. So when you're accumulating a lot of multiple colors at once, there are many instances where Dawnbringer actually gains more mana than something that's going to be doing less damage. So it ends up working out quite nicely in some instances. You'll see me using it a lot for Thursday class events as well, because it tends to get pretty good value there, but there's some other instances where it gets used up, like the raid event today. It's a very situational weapon, but it's a nice utility weapon to have once you can finally get the souls for it. It is 1.3 million souls, tied at the highest soul cost in the entire game for any one single thing. Well, technically it's 1 million souls, but you know, the 3 components are 100,000 each. So it comes to 1.3 million. Any ideas what mythic will be next week in Soulforge? Oh no, we have no way of knowing. We know what won't be on the drop table by knowing where the cycle is, but we have no clue of knowing what specifically will be. And I believe we're only halfway through the cycle, so almost anything could really be the next mythics. We don't really know until Monday. It's one of the reasons why we always cover a Monday video going over all that stuff, because that info is not known until the Monday hits. That's why we can't go over it on Sunday nights, because until the Monday reset hits, they are not determined. They are completely random based on what hasn't happened yet. Not even the devs would know. It's not determined until the weekly reset triggers. Though they do have the ability of manipulating what does show up there. They did it once to give us Ferris Raw for Christmas. Back when Ferris Raw was ultra ridiculously meta to go try getting that second copy of. He's still good to get the second copy of. But they ended up doing that because he didn't show up in Soulforge for a while. So like, hey, everyone gets it for Christmas. Because I don't believe they had the cycle system yet at that time. It was running off of like a complete RNG system out of all of them in the game. Whereas now obviously it has a cycle system. But it didn't always used to be the case. Only 20 mythics left this cycle? That's not too bad. Yeah, we keep getting more and more mythics, so it keeps getting longer and longer to cycle. I keep forgetting exactly how long it is, because it keeps changing as we get more and more mythics. But after the cycle ends, that means next cycle we'll have the mythic that was just in the drop table. That means gosh, I forget his name. The Huanglong will be in the next Soulforge rotation. The mythic that was just available all last week. I'm not sure if it's really worth going every way to spend 4,000 diamonds on him. He's a pretty bad mythic overall. But if you did want to, he will be available next Soulforge rotation. That does mean the current mythic might not be in Soulforge rotation next rotation then. The one for this season. Because there's, what, 5 weeks left? And you'd get through all of the mythics within 5 weeks. So that means it might ever so barely not make the cut to get into next cycle. Which is kind of bad, because that means it will be a very long time before you can get the Season 4 Mythic through free-to-play. At least through Soulforge. You can still get it through random drops. I believe as soon as the season ends, it's technically in the random drop table. But similar to Huanglong, which is also in the drop table now, it's ridiculously hard to get based on pure RNG of every Mythic in the game. It's already hard enough to get a single mythic, and then it becomes completely randomized as far as which one it is. So realistically, the only way to get it free to play after the fact is to get it via the Soulforge. You can also get it for the event keys when the event rolls back around. However, every single mythic they always keep adding, or the every single one of the event mythics for the season pass, they keep doing the events simultaneously with it, which means it does not occur during that event, but then occurs the event after. But this means that it goes like 6 or 7 months without having it. So the season pass stuff isn't unobtainable, but it's not obtainable for such a long time until after the fact. Is it worth getting the boss raid weapon? Yeah. Yes. The one that's available this week. The one that is 210 gems. 100% worth getting. We were messing with it with a team earlier. It was an okay team, but the reason why you get them is just because it's super cheap relative to trying to get it at a later point. So it is advised getting it during the event. Plus, you'd probably want to buy up to tier 3 anyways to help out your guild. If every person in the guild is tier 3, you'll get the event done. But yeah, we were messing with it earlier with this team. It was okay. Wasn't like super over the top, but we were messing with Ogress, Wump, Shegra, and Infernus to kind of just have a Wump team. We're currently using it with Titan. We were using a Warlord variant that had Warlord in first slot, but it seemed less effective than the Titan variant. If you use Titan, you won't get the boost ratio for counting as a Broken Spire troop. You'd have to specifically have it as Warlord. And you could do Warlord with a triple damage burning for synergy with the fact that this weapon actually does burning. It burns on its perk. The second to last? Third to last? Third to last. It burns the first enemy, which synergizes with the fact that Warlord hero class has a triple damage burning to whatever hits. And this also synergizes really good with Shegra, the fact Shegra has burning. And of course Infernus has a 4 times burn if you happen to use Infernus, though it's not required. But it's an okay team. It's not like anything game-breakingly good, but it's usable. It's still worth getting. So whenever you see a weapon on like tier 3 or tier 4 in an event, I highly advise getting it. Or even tier 5 when it's like a Doom weapon. Just because trying to get them after the fact with the resources is exceedingly expensive relative to just getting it during the event. Plus you get to help your guild get the event done. So you get both done simultaneously. It's a really good value. Pretty much any time a weapon is available, you should get it through gems during an event. Because it saves you a lot of resources in the long run and helps out your guild. It's a really good value all around. You just rewind to the beginning. That's hilarious what you said. Let's see. Absolutely right. You totally crashed. Oh, yeah, the thing, yeah. It's really annoying. I hope they fix it soon. I really hope they fix it soon. Also, I still can't believe how overpriced they made those deed thingies. Did you end up getting any of them, Isabel? Because I know some people who spend a lot of money on the game, they could potentially be okay. But they still seem very pricey to me. We did the math earlier. It costs $525 to max a single kingdom to 20-star. Not even counting Imperials, just the red deeds to buy it. And it's over 18,000 to end up doing it for every kingdom in the game. Oh, the crash thing. Oh, yeah, you're referring to that. I thought you were referring to the other thing that I mentioned. But yeah, I wasn't surprised that you would crash after doing that many battles. It seemed very likely. I know I crashed after the Pac-Man stream the other night. That's why we didn't do Fall Guys during Thursday afternoon. Because I just absolutely crashed after we did Pac-Man on Thursday night. Actually, I might stream Pac-Man tomorrow afternoon. I haven't streamed it since its release night. I haven't really played it much since then either. But it's a really solid game. Obviously, it's Pac-Man. Pac-Man's already a pretty huge classic. Gosh, we just cannot stop getting Anus. It's like the third one to stream. Still no niches, though. Let's see. World events didn't have weapon in a while. Is that going to stay that way? They occasionally add world event weapons. It's very rare, though. I feel like they only do it once or twice per season. But they do still occur. I can't remember the last one was, but they do still occur. I think we could still expect to see one this season. We could even go check the full thing. Oh, what's going on with Puzzle Quest 3? There's currently a crash that whenever you go into the guild menu, like 80 to 90% of people are crashing, including myself. Even with the emulator, it crashes. So almost no one's able to obtain or go into the social tab, which is somewhat annoying because there's actually a resource upgrading thing that downgrades every single day if your guild doesn't do a certain amount of upgrades for it. And literally no one's able to do upgrades pretty much for it. It's going to be downgraded all the way. Luckily, nothing else is really done there. It'd be more annoying in Gems of War if you couldn't access the guild menu, because obviously you wouldn't be able to donate to the guild for everything and stuff like that. But in that game, it's not as big a deal because your daily system thing is still like detached from it. But it's still kind of annoying. Hopefully they fix it soon. It also means you can't do group battles because the squad menu is also in that screen. So you can't add people, nor can you recruit or do the group thingies. Yeah, those flash offers are a little greedy that they're doing. Just ever so slightly multi-thousand greedy. Like literally a brand new car greedy. If you broke down what you would need for every single kingdom based on those rates. Yeah, they still haven't given us an official date for when Puzzle Quest 3 is getting their first patch. They have done 0 patches since it's been in early access. It's been in early access for about 2.5 weeks now. Also, I hope they post a changelog. It'll be really annoying if they do like this huge update and then have literally no changelog for anything. Because I know this is some mini updates before the thing was launched, obviously, the early access. But we have 0 changelogs at all for the game. However, there hasn't been one since early access, so hopefully they'll do one then. However, I asked about it on the forum and it never got a response. Not even like a we don't have an answer, just literally no response was given. Yes, no, or we can't say at the moment. Just nothing was said. Oh, also, you know what game Fall Guys just reminded me I need to play? We've never played Shovel Knight. I've heard a lot of really good things about Shovel Knight. And we never got around to playing it. The main reason I mentioned that is tomorrow they're releasing a Shovel Knight skin in Fall Guys. But I need to get around to playing that game. Seems pretty solid. I generally don't play too many platformers, which is probably why I never really got around to it. It's also why we haven't gotten around to Ori or to Silksong. I mean, not Silksong, the other one. The wait, is it Silksong? No, it was the one before Silksong. Hollow Knight. Also, I'm so surprised they haven't released Silksong yet. Because I was going to play the first game before playing the second game. But they still haven't released the second game yet. I was going to do that like ever so barely before it. But they haven't given us an official date. It got delayed a lot because of the virus. I think it was originally supposed to come out some year. Or last year at some point. But got delayed to, I have no clue when. I don't think anyone knows. They don't even know. It's probably later this year. Yeah, there's a whole platforming list we need to get to. I still need to play Mario Odyssey. We need to play Mario Galaxy. We need to play Hollow Knight and Silk Song. We need to play Shovel Knight. And I think that's all the bigger ones. This is something else I'm forgetting. Yeah, it's definitely a genre I don't play too often. But Fall Guys kind of got me back into the platforming genre. Got Token of Anu, Inisha in one drop. Congrats! Nice, that's huge. That is very nice to see. Can we get it as well? That is very much not that. Well, so we got gem keys from the gnome, though. Didn't see if it was 1 or 4, but we got some amount of gem keys. Are you still going to play Sentry when it officially releases? I'm not sure yet. I am still not sure. I've still kind of had mixed feelings about the game. But, yeah, I'm really not sure at the current moment in time. We'll see. Oh, what do we go for here? Take the skull. But yeah, the community for Century Age of Ashes has gotten very toxic very quickly. Which is the biggest concern. Because the big issue that the game is having is that all the toxicity that like shooters normally have is starting to apply to Century Age of Ashes. Because it has enough of an overlap with the shooter genre that's attracting all those kind of peoples. And it's just making a really weird environment for the game. That ultimately will probably be the thing that kills the game. It's going to be rather unfortunate. I feel like almost every single Dragon game that has ever existed that has been free to play has died. I'm not sure what is up with them, but they seem to never want to survive. Like almost every single one dies in like a few years. It's really strange. Also, can you stop agiling? That'd be great. I've also heard quite a few people mention that the Fall Guys community is pretty toxic as well. But I haven't really engaged with the community, so I don't really care as much. The game's too fun to put down. Let's see. I don't even think I'm in the Discord for Fall Guys. Let alone communicating with anyone outside of the game. Let's see. Take that over. Actually, one thing that was happening with it too, I think some of the moderators were actually getting death threats from people to like try to get these skins because they have a bunch of weird exclusive skins that are like near impossible to get. And some of the moderators were like getting death threats, like, hey, give me the skin or else, kind of things. It was probably just kids. Given that that game does generally get a little bit of a lower audience. Which is going to make it pretty good for Nintendo. That game's going to like blow up on Nintendo again. That game seems like it should be made for Nintendo. But it won't be out until summer. on Nintendo, which is actually pretty soon. That's it's probably gonna be in August because that's probably when their exclusivity clause ends with Sony, because that'd be the 1 year mark, and it's very likely they had 1 year exclusivity. But that's in like what, 4 months from now? Let's see if we throw that down. Get our other destroy. Should be good to go. But anyways, guys, does anyone else have any other questions? Anything you want me to go over? Do let me know. Because after another chest or two, we'll probably call it a wrap for now. Though we'll, of course, be back pretty soon in like 6 hours, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every night. We'll be doing Blue Guild Wars, as well as... Is it blue, right? Yeah, it's blue. Blue shirt, check. Gotta check the color of the shirt. But yeah, we got Blue Guild Wars today, as well as we'll be grinding out a bit more, probably going over the event again, raids, you know, kind of just going over it. If you didn't get the teams, they're pinned to the stream right now. And all that good stuff. And then tomorrow afternoon, I guess we'll do Pac-Man again. Pac-Man 99. See how good people have gotten, because I'm pretty sure people have gotten exceedingly good at the game within the last 2 or 3 days. I played it a little before bed last night, but not for long. It is really addicting. I had to put it down or else I wouldn't have slept. It is super addicting gameplay. Also, we'll get a private lobby if we can get a few people too. I believe it just makes sure that everyone in your lobby gets into the same lobby, but the rest of the people will still be random. Or, you know, normal people's. Because I don't think it's just whoever's in your lobby playing against each other. Or it might be, I'm not sure. I haven't tested it yet. Unfortunately, stats and everything don't count when you're in a private lobby. Probably because people could, like, gank on other people and force someone else to win. So they probably didn't want that ruining the stats. Since if you had like 10 people in a lobby, you could just target everyone who wasn't your people. Though you can't target as good as you could in some of the other games. But you could still target in a way where you'd be able to coordinate. And kill the people who weren't in your group. So it disabled stats for whenever you're in a group. Which honestly is a pretty good thing. Makes things more balanced. So that solo queue. I generally like games that do that. That kind of reward going in solo queue. I kind of hate when games are the other way around, which is actually one thing that Century Age of Ashes did as well, where it actually rewards being 5-stack, or, you know, a stacked team, rather than rewarding being solo queue. Because obviously winning solo queue is a lot harder than winning when you're in a group. So rewarding solo queue is generally a lot better, I feel like it is. And Pac-Man 99 is set up that way. Let's see, we'll go for Explosion. I really hope Pac-Man 99 gets more content, though. Mario 35 never did, but that's probably because it was a limited time thingy. Tetris got like 1.5 billion content, so hopefully they'll do something similar to Pac-Man. Oh yeah, it gets really intense in that game. And the music shifts are really nice. I also like some of those paid skins that they have. The Dig Dug one is really funny. Some of them have some cool sound effects, as well as just sound in general for the music. Really old music too. I remember a good number of it. But yeah, overall it's a pretty solid game. I do enjoy it. And it got us a reason to play Pac-Man again after like 15 years. I have played so much Pac-Man when I was younger. When I used to go to arcades back on weekends. That one place with the Jersey Shore used to be recorded a lot. Not sure if you guys ever seen the show. But I haven't really even seen the show. But one of the locations there, the Jersey Shore, the boardwalk there, It got kind of popularized by that show, but it was also just always just a kind of popular place. Unfortunately, it's kind of destroyed now because it got destroyed by 2 fires and Hurricane Sandy. So at this point, a lot of it has been completely obliterated. But yeah, there was a really good place called the Sawmill that had a pretty large pizza. Not the biggest in the world, but I sure thought it was when I was younger. It seemed like massively large. Like, we're talking like a slice is about an entire pizza. By normal pizza standards, it's just that large. Like a normal medium pizza is like what 1 slice is, maybe 2 slices. The slices are just that big. But they had really good fries there too. But there's a lot of arcade places there that I used to play. I still have a TV, a white TV in the other room that is from points that I got at one of the arcades there as well. And if we ever, if I ever get my N64 stuff back that my dad has in storage in New Jersey, if we ever get that back, we definitely need to go record it. All that stuff. I still have the original TV, so I could technically play it on that. However, I can't record it off that TV because it's such a dated TV that it doesn't really have a slot for the thingy. Even with a converter, I don't think it would work. And even if it did, it would be such low quality because it's a TV from like the 2000s, early 2000s. But yeah, there was a lot of arcade thingies there. Pac-Man, the little ball things that you get into the hoops. That one where you have to stop the timer to spin the wheel. Was it even just called Wheel of Fortune? It might have been. Those were very broken for tickets. I basically, I'm pretty sure there was a few other people too. But I'm pretty sure I was one of the reasons why they had to redesign some of those things. Because you could literally profit from winning it. Because they had to basically like rig it so it would be more impossible to actually hit the thing. But when they had the settings like really low where it wasn't like super rigged, you could pretty much almost 100% consistently hit the time synergy to get it to spin the wheel. And you would get so many tickets per spin that they even had to nerf the number of tickets that was on it, where the number that it would give you was actually much less than whatever number showed. I think they even just made it a baseline 50 at one point, because some of the rewards were like 500 and 1,000, and you were just getting so many tickets from it that they literally had to completely nerf the machines. It was pretty funny. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only reason why they got nerfed, but I'm pretty sure it was just them forgetting to set the difficulty settings to make sure they're rigged. But it was pretty funny, because there were literally instances where you could profit from it if you were playing good enough, as far as how many tickets you were gaining relative to what you could claim them for. Let's see, what do we take? We'll take that over. But I got my PlayStation 2 that way. I got the, wait, did I get the PlayStation 2 that way? No, I think I got it from some other means. But I definitely got that way TV, I know for sure from that. And quite a few other knick-knack stuff. There's a lot of knick-knack stuff I had in the drawers from those. It was because most of the bigger rewards you had to save for. And as a child, obviously, you wanted that instant gratification, so normally I got a bunch of junk. Sometimes I saved for bigger stuff. Let's see, we'll get that down. Get our explosion. Oh, you used to go there every summer? Yeah, I used to go there like literally every weekend. Or not literally every weekend, but a lot of weekends. There was that one point in my childhood where every weekend it was either the boardwalk or I was going to my cousin's place. Or do a bunch of different gaming because they had all the most recent gaming stuff. Whereas I didn't have nearly as much. Any luck on the controller shopping? I have not been able to find it yet. I'm trying to get it in stores, but every place I keep looking has it sold out. But they're still printing them, so I should still eventually be able to get it through a store. Because I'd rather get it that way than having to buy it from a scalper or something. Honestly, at this point, I might just not even get it. I'm not sure. Because if it's going to cost like literal hundreds, I'd prefer not to do it that way. I'm not going to get it off of eBay. They're literally all scalpers selling it for like 2 times plus what it's actually worth. I'm not getting it off of eBay. If I truly have to, I will literally just get normal Switch controllers and just have them as backup. If they're going to be that overpriced for a custom one. It's literally just a little design on it. Because that's enough to buy 3 controllers. And scalpers are literally charging it for 1. But yeah, Monster Hunter is a lot more popular than I thought it was. I never got into the series yet. But, yeah, everything Monster Hunter related, they've just been flying off the shelves. I just wanted cool dragon-themed controller. I'm pretty sure there's a third-party seller that probably has an even better-looking one anyways. I have to go down that route. Because you went down the third-party route. You got the Isabel one, right? Which is probably like, what, 50 bucks or somewhere around there? Most third-party Pro controllers go for 50. Some of them, I think, might be 75. But most of them go for 50 because they're trying to compete with a normal Switch controller, which goes for about 70. Oh, it was only 30 bucks? Oh, nice. You got a good deal then. These normally third-party ones are closer to 50. But anyways, guys, I think we're going to make this our last chest for now. Probably going to grab lunch because I actually haven't ate anything yet today. It is already 2 p.m. I almost said a.m., but it's already 2 p.m. So the game plan then is 6 hours from now we'll be streaming again, so we'll be back pretty soon, kind of. I guess 6 hours is actually kind of soon. I don't know. Depends what you consider to be soon, TM. But in 6 hours from now, we'll be back. We'll be doing Blue Guild Wars, all the normal stuff. Aside from that, we'll have another redeem code then as well and all that. Other than that, other things that we'll be streaming. Tomorrow we'll be streaming Pac-Man 99 at noon. And then we'll just have a normal Gems of War stream throughout the rest of the weekend. Sunday I'll probably be busy, so I probably won't have a daytime stream then. But that should be the game plan. Oh, I'm still doing another battle. It's just such a habit to keep going. Like every single time you open a chest, it's just one more, just one more. And then you go like an entire hour. It's like, oh, kind of been opening chests for a while. We'll make this our last battle then. Oh, I had a skull on board. I could just won. Well, there it goes. Luckily you didn't take it. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Best of luck with the raid event. So it's pretty straightforward. And I'll catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone. And thank you all so much for watching.